Hey guys! So today I am here to talk to you about a romance arc on my actual posting day. It's late, but you know, I'm gonna get it done and that's all that matters. So anyway, I am here today to talk to you guys about an arc that I received of The Love Simulation by Etta Easton. Thank you to Edelweiss and the publisher for my free advanced review copy for my honest and fair review. Things that I did not discover until I actually got into the Goodreads reviews of this. It was not on Storycraft, it was not on Edelweiss, and it was not in general on Goodreads, is that The Love Simulation is actually book 2 in a set of related romance novels. The first one is called The Kiss Countdown. I have never read that book. That follows the brother of the female main character in this one, who is actually an astronaut and some sort of fake dating situation. Whereas this one follows a vice principal and a science teacher who get stuck together doing a life on Mars simulation. So these books are very STEAM/STEM focused, and it was absolutely that premise that drew me in. But again, I did not realize that this was a related book 2. Again, I think it was fine that I didn't read book 1, but so you don't make my same mistake. So this book follows the story of Brianna. She is a vice principal at a middle school, and she has just completed or is about to complete her first year in the job, and it has been a rough one. She comes from a family of very successful, what she calls Black excellence, to the moon and the stars, literally, because like I said, her brother is an astronaut, one of her sisters is an obstetrician, so they got doctors, astronauts, and Brianna has always been trying to find her own way. And she has found a mentor who's the superintendent of the district, and basically, she's trying to rise the ranks of school. She really loves children and education. And so this is her first big step towards her eventual career goals, she thinks. Brianna has a massive crush on a science teacher named Roman. He is also the son of the principal of the school. And before Brianna got hired, he was also up for this job, and it was very clear to everyone that his father, the principal, really wanted him to get this job. He was outvoted, and then Brianna got the job, and now Roman, is still just a science teacher, and it is very clear that his father, the principal, wants Brianna gone. Roman, though, just seems pretty quiet. He has the issue where everyone knows who his dad is, right? So in the same way that Brianna doesn't get a lot of people really being super friendly with her, he doesn't either. And for the most part, he just seems very quiet and good with the students. This is a single POV novel, so we never get Roman's inner thoughts, which is a problem, as we will discuss. But anyway, before we get there, Brianna has been fighting all year to get money to redo the library. It was damaged in a hurricane, and part of it's being used for detention, and this is just not the vision of the school that Brianna wants. However, at the last minute, the principal tells her that he has reneged on that agreement and has decided to put those funds towards building a new football stadium instead. Why they need a new football field at a middle school is unclear to everyone but the principal. But Brianna hears about this fundraiser for the school that she can participate in, where her and 4 other teachers from the school will spend 6 weeks in a Mars simulation. So it's meant to, raise awareness of NASA and STEM and the Mars mission and all that type of stuff. But also, if they succeed the full 6 weeks, they will get about $100,000. And Brianna says, absolutely yes, if this is the only way that I can achieve this goal for the library, I'm gonna go and do that. She rustles up 4 other teachers. At the last minute, though, one of those teachers, unknowing to her, is replaced by Roman. So it's her, Roman, and 3 other teachers from the school trapped in a literal bubble for 6 weeks. This is absolutely a forced proximity novel, and after a meteor shower, also only 1 bed. So there's a lot of things going on here, and it was absolutely this premise that drew me into the novel and kept me in. The entire beginning, obviously, I felt Brianna's ire very close to my heart as someone who also believes that schools need libraries and with everything going on in the world about school libraries, I was drawn into her character and her mission to get this school a properly functioning full school library. And I didn't really honestly have too many thoughts about Roman. Like I said, we never get his POV, and Brianna very clearly just sees him as a snack. And they have been having like telepathic conversations in the teacher's lounge where they don't really interact, but they like talk with their eyes. But Brianna's trying to be very professional, so she knows nothing can ever come of it. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and I really do wish we had been able to see more of his thoughts. However, I guess there's a reason that we don't, because a lot of Brianna's issues with him comes from her misconceptions and preconceived notions about him, and had we gotten his POV, we would have known those weren't true, and I guess that wouldn't have been a problem. Anyway. Inside, the simulation sounded super cool. There was dust storms, and they had, you know, things that they had to do, like daily task lists, and they had to find the rover and then take the rover out to collect rock samples and try to grow dandelions and eat astronaut food. And I loved it. It sounded so cool and awesome, and the side characters are only so fleshed out. But there was in particular one who was really, really hilarious. The other two unfortunately don't get as much, but it was just like a really, really fun, interesting time. I've certainly never read another romance novel like that. And it was absolutely that setting that kept me in the story. The romance, unfortunately, was extremely light. Like I said, Brianna believes that Roman has been sent by his father to sabotage the mission, so she's like really suspicious of him, but still absolutely finds him sexy AF. So it's clear to everyone in the bubble that they have feelings for each other. This is complicated by the fact that most of the spaces within the simulation are being live streamed, so their families can watch, the school can watch, and Brianna, again, is still trying to maintain her professionalism, because this is the place that she works, and she has been told by her mentor that she should not be friends with any of the teachers because it crosses a line. And so she definitely can't, like, you know, be together with him. That means there's a lot of like, will they, won't they, and like, you know, they're together and they're clearly into each other, but they shouldn't be doing anything about it, until it kind of just like twists on a dime, and all of a sudden Roman goes from being someone who's been very quiet to being like, you know, I always go after what I want. And I was like, okay, that felt like a personality shift. And again, I think part of it was we've never been able to like hear his inside thoughts, and for all we know, he's been thinking like this the entire time. But for us, as for Brianna, it really feels like it comes out of nowhere, and it's just very hard to root for them to do something that might mess up this money that they need for the library, both of their jobs, for a romance that really just feels surface level for the entirety of the novel. And it's really, really weird because she starts talking about him as like her missing piece or her perfect match, and I'm like, girl, you gotta back it up. I am not convinced by this yet. So it unfortunately does not get much better for me as the novel goes along. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but the, you know, 75% of the way third act drama does come from an intense amount of miscommunication, with a consequence that is then weirdly and quickly resolved. And so I was like, okay, even in this opportunity that they had to really have a conversation about what had happened, they don't do it then at the end either. So that was just like, I wanted way more from the romance than I got throughout the entire thing, which is unfortunate. Like I said at the top, I have not read The Kiss Countdown, which is the, again, first book in this related family like romance saga. I have seen people in some of the reviews that I've been reading saying that the first one is way better. I do not know that for certain, but I really, really liked the STEM slash space component of this. So if you have read the first one and you are here, please let me know down in the comments if that is worth going back to, because it's just possible that this one was just like a relationship in this saga that just didn't have as great of, you know, legs to go the distance as the first one, whereas the first one might have been a better blend of romance and the space stuff. Or if you have any similar romances that you would recommend that also involve this like space astronaut situation. I certainly can't think of any other ones that are like this, and so between, you know, the representation throughout the book plus the concept, I really do encourage other people to check it out, even if it's not like my favorite thing that I've ever read, because I do feel like it's got a unique like viewpoint and something definitely add to the romance genre, but maybe also potentially you want to start with the Kiss Countdown and check that one out instead. Unclear. Check the comments maybe once this has been up for a while for thoughts on that. I am glad that I read it. I thought that it was a fun time. I wish that it was a little bit more like solid in the romance area, that there was more going on there. But you can now make up your own decision, because as of the day after I post this, this book is out in the world, so you can get it from your local library or your local bookstore, however it is you get your books, and then come back and give me your thoughts, especially if you've read this one and the Kiss Countdown. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully I'll be back on my correct day earlier in the day. Small progress. Maybe next week. Thanks guys. Bye.